Hello, everyone. This is Astrology for Mystics. I am your host, intuitive astrologer, Jennifer Jennings. We are going to be discussing the full moon in Leo that has taken place on February 12th, 2025. And wow, is it going to deliver some shakeups? This challenge with the sun is still ongoing, and it will still be ongoing until the 17th of February. Big stuff. Big stuff. Earthquakes, earth shattering news. That is exactly what we can expect moving forward. This video is going to entail not just an astrology reading for each rising sign, but also a tarot card pull. If you would like a personalized reading, please visit my Stan store. I will also put a link to the Stan store in the comments. All right, let's get going. The moon cycles show ebb and flow of nature and the archetype in which it's associated with. The Leo moon will be opposing the sun in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, Ceres and Vulcan in Aquarius. Any lunation in Leo is going to oppose Pluto in Aquarius. I'm going to begin this reading with Pisces, only because Nashville, Tennessee, the full moon is going to be at its peak at 7:53 a.m. And that's exactly when Pisces is going to rise to the occasion. So please adjust the time as needed. Before I begin with Pisces risers and the reading of this full moon, I first want to take a few minutes and discuss what I see in this chart, because the full moon is a reflection. It's reflecting everything that has taken place up until the 12th. So by the 12th, this reading should resonate with all of us. The full moon is definitely going to reflect the Super Bowl, all attention on children, sports, health factors with the heart, space weather, solar weather, earthquakes, space agencies, the Pope. I see Honduras, Cuba, Costa Rica, Missouri, Montana, Philadelphia in this chart. I see Haiti. The Saturn that you see at an 1843, that is Cuba. It is Cuba's physician in the 7th house. It's making a connection with Cuba's 7th house, Apollo in Leo. The Mars that you see in Cancer is going to be opposing Haiti, as their Mercury in the 12th house of Capricorn is going to oppose this Mars, with Uranus squaring the Sun and Mercury and Vulcan in Aquarius. Until the 17th, we are all collectively going to experience shakeups, some more personal than others, depending on the degrees in your chart. The degrees in our chart literally matter in the state of matter. Each reading is going to show and be discussing the Uranus in Taurus squaring the Sun, Mercury, Vulcan in Aquarius. So let's begin. We're going to begin, like I said, with Pisces. Pisces, risers, those of you who have your sun in Pisces, this full moon is going to be taking place in your 6th house of health and everyday. The Sun, Mercury, Vulcan, Ceres, they're going to be opposing in the 12th house. So what this means to me is that there could be, and has been, knee-dropping experiences, intuitive experiences. Saturn has been limiting you on how you shine. Saturn calls on more responsibility, more structure with your work, with how you show up in the world. Collectively, all of our fate is currently sitting in the North Node with Pisces, conjunct Neptune. But for you, this is all about your life path. This is about your higher self. What's real, what's not. Juno is going to be squaring you in the 9th house at a 2851 in Scorpio, Pisces risers. The South Node for you is traveling in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships. You've been here before with a relationship. You're learning something about a relationship and things that have been hidden that are no longer hidden now. Perhaps you have had a close relationship to you who has been taking care of someone else or who is sick, possibly due to addiction. The good news is, Pisces risers, is that Saturn in Pisces is in a good standing with Mars in the 5th house of kids and creativity. There's an independence here with home and mom, maybe a drive to purchase a new home, get a good interest rate on a home. There's definitely things you are learning about with mom and home and family. Perhaps you are traveling and going to be traveling to a person's house and you have no idea how it's going to all work itself out. You may get some news relating to a sibling or a childhood friend. Communications with you are definitely shaking things up, and they are challenging things of the past with video, networking, pictures, things of that nature, because the Uranus conjunct Hygeia in Taurus is squaring that sun in the 12th house. Therefore, communications are disruptive. And because of that, you want to maintain your expectations as if you have no expectations, because you need to expect the unexpected when it comes to siblings and communications. Maybe you haven't talked to that sibling in quite a while, and then you talk to them again because they're having health issues, things going on with their ears, nose, and throat. Astria in the 10th house is showing a divine justice, a long travel, a higher learning. Perhaps you are taking an online class, you're studying something new to take you into a higher state of awareness, a higher state of consciousness. The tarot card that I pulled for you, Pisces risers, is the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is showing me that there is a full expression in this fiery suit of the Wands. The man on the 10 of Wands tarot card is showing a full moon in the backdrop, showing deer in the backdrop, and he is walking up a hill with 10 wands on his back. Circumstances have been weighty in the past. Determination is definitely required to handle all the projects that you have going on. All these projects that are going on can be a heavy burden to carry. It can represent overworking. So be careful, Pisces and Pisces risers, that you are taking time for you. Because if you are not taking time for you, then it's going to be hard for you to take care of other people. Good luck, Pisces. All right, now for my strong-willed Aries. Hello, Aries. This full moon is going to be taking place in your 5th house. The sun is going to oppose the moon in the 11th. So it has to do with how you bring in money, your children, your creativity, competition. The challenge is feeling like groups to me, like you're going to have challenges with groups and how you make money. Your money-making schemes are at odds. There's a wake-up call with your values and groups, because that is exactly where Uranus at a 2320 and Hygeia at a 0033 is traveling in the 2nd house of values, what you truly value. Money being shaken up, health being shaken up, the things that you own, your resources, your pleasure, beauty. Ears, nose, and throat, sinus issues. Maybe you are thinking and contemplating about planting seeds for the fruition of planting them in the springtime. There could definitely be internet issues, video problems. Venus on the ascendant for you is showing that you could be spending a lot of money that you don't have, or maybe you have been gifted money that you did not have and needed. There's definitely a higher learning with travel, long travels, with Astria there in the ninth house of higher learning and traveling. May have to do with grandparents. Perhaps you are contemplating on finishing a class, or you are going to join a new class. But the moon in your fifth house is showing the center of attention is surrounded by children, reflecting on parties and festivities, sports party, like maybe even the Super Bowl. I see that groups in the future in that 11th house where the sun is opposing the full moon in the fifth house. Maybe you've got anxiety about the future groups, future networking, things of the future. And when you think of the things of the future, Aries, you will have anxiety, you will have headaches. Just like when you think of the past, sickness comes on and you get depressed. Learning mind over matter is definitely important for you, Aries and Aries risers, as Saturn is showing up in that 12th house where you fear things that are hidden. And fearing anything hidden can cripple you. And I think that at this time, personal inventory is a good thing. It would be a real good thing for you. Any fears that you may uncover are pertinent at this time because those fears can hold you back. So be mindful of that, Aries and Aries risers. The tarot card that I pulled for you, Aries and Aries risers, is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, we see a woman's face in the night sky and she's blindfolded. She can't see her situation clearly. The two golden swords are crossed in front of the moon, and the swords are reflecting the conflict of thoughts, and the moon representing the subconscious mind. Maybe you feeling that you need to make a decision and you aren't quite sure which way to go, which way to feel. There's some confusion surrounding this decision. All you have to do is take the blinders off. Even with no decision, it's still a decision. Take a step forward in your destiny and don't worry about the things that are hidden. Don't fear the unknown. Step outside of your comfort zone, Aries and Aries risers. Good luck. All right, Taurus risers, Taurus suns, this forecast is showing that the moon is going to be full in the fourth house of home with mom, family, real estate, genealogy. The sun is going to be opposing in the 10th house with Ceres and Vulcan and Mercury. The health of the planet is truly important to you. The future seems to be all about the health factor for you, making more money. Sometimes group settings seem to be shaking you up. Maybe it's roommates, partnerships. Past spending is also shaking you up a little bit. Possibly it is past spending or things that you need to spend money on, which is truly now an afterthought. Taurus, you may be going through a change of home, change with friend groups, your associations. There's things of the past that have been weighing on you, especially with money and the action that you are taking with your finances. Your professional life could be changing. It could be that you are reflecting on slow activity at work. Relationships from the past could be coming back into the picture, and just be aware of that. Be aware of Juno traveling at a 28 degree opposing the ascendant. For Taurus risers, you could definitely be having disordered aggression with the government, the laws, relationships when it comes to anything lawful. Maybe you want to break a contract or a contract has been broken. Be careful with any new contracts that you sign. With that dark moon in the 6th house of Libra, with the moon being full in that 4th house, it appears that you are reflecting on festivities and parties, perhaps having to do with a child in the family. All attention on that child. Communications with siblings are more independent, as of recent. Jupiter appears to be expanding your second house, having to do with money and two people when it comes to your responsibilities. The themes for you right now, Taurus and Taurus risers, are work, home, and play, legal rights, workers' rights, social rights. Taurus and Taurus risers, I pulled the Two of Swords for you. So like Aries, you also have the card Two of Swords, the unconscious becoming conscious, taking the blinders off. The choice is yours, Taurus risers. All the action that you have taken has led to a choice, and the choice needs to be made. Fate will see its day, so don't fear the unknown. Step out of your comfort zone, Taurus and Taurus risers. Good luck with that. Now for my talkative Geminis. The power of the mind seems to be all over the place with aha moments lately, Gemini and Gemini risers. Intuition is extremely strong right now as Pisces is showing up in that 10th and 11th house for you, Gemini risers. The full moon is going to be showing up in your 3rd, 4th house, Gemini risers, and this is going to entail communications that could be opposing you, as the 10th house, Sun, Mercury, Ceres, Vulcan is all going to be opposing that moon. The 9th house of travel is truly transformative with your communications. Money-making schemes seem to be aggressive right now, especially with online networking. The spiritual health of the world is important to you. Study has been transformative. Right now, it seems that you need freedom with relationships, as Astrea is showing up in your 7th house at an 1144 in Sag. Long travels, higher learning with your relationships. It appears that you could be reflecting on passionate interests. Maybe you have attended a party recently, reflecting on the attention that you either received or did not receive. Family could be hurting your feelings as the South Node travels through your 4th house of home in Virgo, and it's highlighting health with mom, with family. Maybe you are reassessing your personal values. Lately, you could be in fear of asserting yourself, of fearing your own anger, possibly. As Chiron is sitting in that 11th house, maybe you are sharing pain with groups, with your friend group. The North Node is currently transiting in Pisces in your 10th, 11th house. This is, Gemini risers, where you're going. It's very spiritual, where we are going collectively. But for you, it's with your work and with how you bring in money in groups. And sometimes giving of service isn't all that giving back. And so your expectations of other people and how you are bringing in money could be falling to the wayside, Gemini and Gemini risers. With circumstances, with the past, with your unconscious becoming conscious, is definitely to do with the world health, the world's resources, the action that you are taking right now with home values, things that you are erecting, things that you are building outside of your home, in your home, will be receiving a lot of action, as it appears with Mars in the 2nd house of values in Cancer, denotes a action that is being taken toward the home. Maybe there are repairs that need to be made. Whatever it is in good standing with Saturn and Pisces. The tarot card that I pulled for you, Gemini risers, is the Sun. The Sun is depicted as the central body of the cosmos. It's an active energy. The Sun rules Leo. The Sun rules Leo and children and procreation. It's one of the most positive cards that you can get in the tarot. Success, triumph, relationships are great. There's a lot of good health seen with this card. So be sure to take advantage of all the opportunities that is coming your way, Gemini and Gemini risers. Good luck. Now for my emotional and receptive Cancerians. Those who shine in Cancer, those who rise in Cancer, this forecast is for you. The full moon is going to be in transit in your second house of values, things that you possess. You're reflecting on your values with children, reflecting on things that you hold in possession of children and creativity, reflecting on a past party, festivity. Perhaps you are feeling insecure with your emotions, your finances. Uranus and Hygeia are in the 11th house of groups in Taurus. There could be a shakeup with groups, your associates. Saturn in the 9th house of long travels and higher learning in Pisces is in good standing with your Mars in the first house, which is good. The action that you have been taking, the action that you will continue to take with home and family loyalty doesn't appear to be as oppressive anymore, or it won't be. Mars there in the first house shows the action being taken with work will soon be lifted. That burden that you have will be lifted, and there will be new opportunities coming your way. The Sun is opposing your second house of values in the 8th house. So the Sun in the 8th house with Ceres, Mercury there in the 8th house in Aquarius is showing the future transformation with groups, with networking, relationships, those in authority, your partnerships with authority, with work, have shaken you up. Relationships with children have shaken you up. Investigations. But there is a divine justice that is showing up in your 6th house of health, your everyday, your work, your romance. That opposition with Astrea and Jupiter showing up in your 12th house is showing me that there are communications in the past that are going to have to resolve itself. And Astrea is doing that and will continue to do that through November. The North Node conjunct Neptune shows a move, maybe a long travel is not out of the question. The South Node is showing the 3rd house with health, siblings, communications. You've been here before. There could be a disordered aggression with your mom, with home, with family, as the dark moon in the 4th house in Libra shows something beginning and ending with mom. Could have to do with contracts. Either way, the dark moon wants to push us forward and not settle in a disordered aggression, because that will make you sick. The card I pulled for you, Cancerians, and those who rise in Cancer, is the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is definitely related to the emotional side of Cancer. The moody colors of the sky reflecting on the atmosphere, cups turned over. The 2 cups in back of the knight are not tipped over, but he is crying over the seen, not aware of the unseen. Maybe there is some regret with how things have turned out, some disappointment. Maybe you feel betrayed. This card can definitely indicate a loss of a relationship, grieving. Sometimes situations cannot be fully understood until they are in hindsight. Life is full of change, and there are better days to come. Cancerians and those who rise in Cancer. Good luck with that. All attention on Leo. My creative Leos. This full moon in Leo is taking place in your first house, Leo risers, possibly in your second, depending on the degrees. All attention is on you and your life path. With communications, the public eye, health seems to be a big factor for you, getting back on routine, maintaining your self-control with spending, structure, order. Certainly need to be relying on your intuition. Otherwise, communications, especially with sibling house, that third house where the dark moon is showing up, can cause disordered aggression. The way you're thinking, the way you're communicating, especially with siblings. Uranus and Hygeia are showing up in the 10th house, shaking things up at work, studying the world health, the resources, investigating the unknown. That is showing up in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, as the North Node, Neptune, and Saturn are transiting in that 8th house. Relying on your intuition would definitely suit you best right now through February. The sun is opposing the ascendant in Leo. Mercury is opposing Ceres, and Vulcan is as well. Possibly Pluto. Relationships with groups, communicating with groups of people have been difficult and will continue to be difficult while the sun and Mercury transit through Aquarius. It could be your relationship, the groups associated with your relationship. Nevertheless, the sun in Aquarius shows the future online networking that can either work against you or work for you, and that is going to depend on your intuition. Leos and Leo risers, there's definitely a shakeup with work, with health, romance, as Pallas is shaking things up in that 6th house in Capricorn. Possibly a long travel is in the working. Maybe you are planning a summer trip. The divine justice is opposing your Jupiter in the 11th house of communications and groups, your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams. Perhaps there is a new life direction. There is a new job. Maybe you feel overwhelmed with these relationships, as they are definitely transformative right now, and in the past they have been transformative. Maybe you are feeling a loss of direction with your family, with your mom, with past experiences, but this too shall pass. Mars showing up in that 12th house is in good standing with the 8th. So things that are taking place at home, things that have taken place in the past at home with family, genealogy, purchases of land, things of that nature, are in a good standing with responsibility and accountability. So that's good. That's really good for you, Leos and Leo risers. Long trips, a higher education may not be working out, but everything is taking place as it should. Try not to question fate. The tarot card that has been pulled for you, Leo and Leo risers, is the Chariot. So we have another major arcana card where there is a woman who is riding upon a chariot. She steers the chariot with reins, and she is preoccupied, glancing from one side to the next. There is a triumph that is coming to you. Self-discipline is going to be required. It's the key word with this card. Self-discipline, focus, perseverance, other keywords as well. The focus is needed on one path So, not scattering your energies with that Jupiter in the 11th house will suit you. It can definitely indicate travel or a higher learning. Good luck with that, Leo. Now for the analytical Virgos. Virgo risers. The moon is showing up in the 12th house. It is going to be full at a critical 29 degree when it reaches your ascendant in Virgo. Past party, past relationships, festivities, children. Maybe you didn't attend that party. Maybe you were not able to explore being in groups. Maybe lately you are feeling more at home is the most comfortable because Astria is showing up in that 4th house of home. Maybe you have been feeling more reclusive, or the past party that you held at home, you are now reflecting on the solitude that you need. Maybe there is some type of getting your house in order, so to speak. Focusing more on creative projects with children. It's possible that you feel a little ran down. Maybe you feel ran down because you've been dealing with groups, online networking. Relationships and partnerships have been limited as of late. Long travels, things of higher learning have been shaking you up, especially with health. Could have to do with the world health, and that is the reason why you are not able to travel where you want to travel. Mars in the 11th house of groups in Cancer is in good standing with your relationships and partnerships and how you bring in money, which is why focusing more on creative projects would suit you well right now. The sun is in the 6th house of health, your everyday, your romance, and it is opposing the unconscious, the things of the past, where the moon is currently sitting at a critical degree during this full moon. It could be that you're dealing with your own health, you're dealing with your partnership's health. Your work is definitely undergoing some transformation right now. Philosophy, foreign travel, world health, studying other cultures is shown here with this reading. The values of the government, the values of the law, could be where you are having some disordered aggression. There could be a relationship with your siblings, your communications, things that are hidden in that communications with Juno, as Juno is at a 2855 in Scorpio in the 3rd house. Communications and siblings, giving you a conscious raising experience in regard to the communications with the siblings relationship. Authority with children, with how you create. There is a mastery with how you are creating right now. The intuitive side of you, Virgo, and giving of service is very important right now. Wow. Virgo risers, the card that I pulled for you is also the Chariot. The Chariot is indicating long travels, a higher learning. And it's critical for you, Virgo and Virgo risers, as the moon is full at a critical degree. Things that you are learning right now is key. Focus and perseverance is key to bring in those hopes and wishes and dreams and the action that you have taken thus far to fruition. Good luck with that, Virgos. Now for my diplomatic Libras. Libra risers. The full moon is going to be taking place in your 11th house of groups. The sun is going to be opposing in the 5th house of creativity. It's possible that friends, acquaintances are the highlight for you right now, Libra and Libra risers. There is a reflection of work, how you bring in money. All attention is on those friends that you work with. There's a sense of loss with attention, with friends. Maybe you've lost touch with one of your friends and you saw them recently at a party. Structure with work, with your fitness is key right now. As the 6th house of health is showing the North Node conjunct Neptune, Saturn being there as well is in good standing with the Mars. Mars for you is in the 10th house with dad, your image, the action that you are taking with home and work. Perhaps you are thinking about moving. Perhaps there are squabbles taking place with your roommates or your partnerships, relationships. Venus and Chiron, Eris is in the seventh house of relationships. Maybe you are wanting to take a relationship to a higher level, moving in together. Venus in that seventh house is definitely showing that you are the peacemaker with relationships. It's possible that you have been spending more aggressively with relationships. You may definitely experience a sudden jolt with life adventures. Maybe you are studying more homeopathic remedies, wanting to start gardening, exchanging information with others, philosophy, digging deeper. With Mars there in the 10th house, it does show that you are more protective of your family. Perhaps you have borrowed a vehicle, or there is something going on with the family car, needing to take more action with your insurance or tags. There is definitely a quest for responsibility, accountability, and ownership. Libra and Libra risers. Those of you who do rise in Libra are experiencing disordered aggression with laws that are being made, laws that are passing, the government, things that are going on inside the government. Jupiter is expanding your ninth house of travel, higher learning with communications, and that shakeup with money, with health, the unseen could be the reason why there is more of an aggressive approach toward fitness right now with you Libras, Libra risers, as the South Node is sitting in the 12th house of the unconscious where you've been before. The tarot card that I pulled for you, Libra and Libra risers, is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a youthful energy. It's fiery, representing a young man. The Knight of Wands is energetic. He's full of ideas. You just don't want to be hasty with these ideas, Libra and Libra risers. It definitely shows a change of residence, like we were just talking about, or a long journey, something to do with immigration. Don't forget to check all the details in contracts, Libra and Libra risers. Whatever decisions that you are going to be making in the future, look at all of the fine details in the contract. That could be also why that dark moon is showing up in the first house of Libra. Libra is about contracts. So good luck with that, Libra. Now for my transformative Scorpios. Scorpio risers. This forecast is showing that the 10th house is where the moon will be full for you. It will be opposing the sun in the 4th house of home with mom, land, property, genealogy. All attention is on you, Scorpio and Scorpio risers, at work, other people's money. There's a lot of ambition that you have with your work, how you bring in money, your money-making schemes. You are definitely reflecting on the past parties, maybe with kids, whereas relationships are shaking you up with money, resources, things that you own. The sun opposing the moon is showing that there are challenges with family, online networking. Maybe there is recent news, or there will be recent news about a family member who has moved. Wake up calls with siblings that you are receiving. It's definitely transformative at home. The health of your relationships with resources is where you are being shaken up. Health and romance appears to be warring at the time, but this too shall pass, Scorpio and Scorpio risers. The North Node for you guys that rise in Scorpio is in the 5th house of creativity. There could be some slowdowns with how you create, but there is also a good standing with Mars there in the 9th house of travel, higher learning. There could be disordered aggression with contracts of the past that need to be handled, as the dark moon is showing up there in the 12th house of Libra. A relationship from the past could be coming back, giving you a conscious raising experience, Scorpio risers. It's definitely going to be challenging your relationships, your values. The card that I pulled for you, Scorpio and Scorpio risers, is the Sun. I keep pulling cards that I've already pulled before, and that's okay because the Sun is calling you, Scorpio and Scorpio risers, to be positive. Think of the bright side. The Sun rules Leo. It rules playful times ahead. Maybe you are going to receive a promotion at work. Prosperity, good health, success, and triumph are key words for the tarot card, the major arcana, the Sun. So good luck with that, Scorpio and Scorpio risers. Now for the philosophical Sagittarius. Sagittarius risers, this forecast is showing that the full moon is taking place in your 9th house. The Sun is opposing the full moon in the 3rd house of communications and siblings with groups. The communications with your siblings are the highlight right now, Sagittarius risers. There is definitely being a shakeup, or will continue to be a shakeup there in that 6th house of health with Uranus, your everyday work, romance. Uranus is going to be squaring that 3rd house of siblings and communications, especially when it comes to money. The shakeup with your siblings and money. Disordered aggression is taking place with groups, contracts, how you bring in money and work. Any type of contracts that are taking place for you right now, Sagittarius risers, be sure to pay attention to the small fine print if you are signing anything. It could be that you are having disordered aggression with groups and the law, things that are taking place with the law. There is definitely a higher learning with your life path as Astrea is in transit in that 1st house, Sagittarius risers. Jupiter is also expanding these relationships that could be opposing your life path and your higher learning. There is definitely a challenge with Jupiter expanding your relationship and the mental processing that has taken place with your partnership, with your relationship. Communications could be a burden. Other people's money with family, with mom, traveling, vehicle, things of that nature is where Mars is showing up in the 8th house. But it's in good standing with Saturn. It's in good standing with Saturn at home, taking action at home, maybe with the property. The South Node is in transit in the 10th house, reflecting on where you've been before with your father, the health of your father, the health of your business, work, your self-image. And the North Node, again, is at home with mom, spirituality, more of a nurturing type of energy here with the North Node in Pisces in the 4th house of home. The card that I pulled for you, Sagittarius and Sagittarius risers, is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is kind and gentle, charming, social, creative. She's artistic. She prefers one-on-one conversations rather than being in large groups. She's very compassionate and intuitive. Romantically, she can be hurt easily, as she has a sensitive nature. This Queen of Cups does not like speaking out or doing anything that could be confrontational. She is definitely somebody that listens and cares. And so with the Sun opposing in the 3rd house of communications and siblings, be sure to have compassion, empathy with your communications and your siblings at this time, Sagittarius and Sagittarius risers. Good luck. All right, Capricorn risers, this is your chance to show up and show out with responsibility and accountability. The full moon is going to be in transit in your 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration. There is a regenerative quality with the moon in the 8th house, with other people's money, past parties, past celebrations with children. The sun is opposing your 2nd house of values, money, groups, networking. Saturn in your 3rd house is in good standing with Mars in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships, giving you a lot of action with family, home. All the while, Uranus is shaking up your 5th house of kids and creativity with money, resources. There is disordered aggression about work, contracts, your image, your father. A relationship with groups gives you a conscious raising experience of things that you are contemplating, desiring with work and how you are bringing in money, showing that there is a fear of moving forward. Perhaps there are things going on with your hormones. And that is the reason why Capricorn risers, that you are feeling anxious. There's a possibility that there is a job promotion in store for you. Perhaps you will have to take an online class, as that's where the South Node in Virgo is for you, is in that 9th house of higher learning and traveling. You've been here before. Maybe you just need to complete what you have began. There's a higher learning. There is an unconscious aspect, a justice that is taking place with you, Capricorn and Capricorn risers, with Astrea there in that 12th house, wanting to make the long travels, this higher learning, conscious. Instead of fearing it, face it. There is no time to be in fear, Capricorns and Capricorn risers. The tarot card that I pulled for you, Capricorn risers, is the Knight of Wands, just like I pulled for the Libras. The Knight of Wands is young. He's energetic. He's adventurous. He's excited. It could show a change of residence, a long journey being taken, something to do with immigration possibly. There is a high level of creative energy with this Knight of Wands. Make sure to check all the details in the fine print if you are signing any contracts in the month of February. Good luck with that. Finally, my Aquarius, innovative thinkers. The sun is going to be opposing the full moon in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. If you rise in Aquarius, you are reflecting on relationships, attention, with relationships, whether you received attention or not. That is the reflection with this full moon in Leo. You could be feeling really confident with the sun shining on your life path, giving you innovative thoughts and communications with groups. You could be feeling very independent, frank with how you discuss and think with these groups, because the Chiron, Eris, and Venus is showing up there in the 3rd house of communications and siblings. Uranus is giving a shakeup at home with mom, land and property, money. Your mom could be going through money here and money there. She could be going through issues with her hormones, the ears, nose, and throat. Thyroid. You're expanding with your communications, especially with 2 or more, as you create there with Jupiter showing up in that 5th house of Gemini during this reading. Saturn in the 2nd house of values and resources is in good standing with the 6th house, Mars in Cancer. The health and the action that is being taken right now is responsible. There is definitely a higher learning with groups, how you bring in money with Astria there in the 11th house in Sag. She is definitely challenging your creativity, especially with long travels and contracts. When it comes to these long travels, make sure to check everything out before you make the move to book your hotel or what have you, because the dark moon is in Libra in that 9th house of travel and higher learning. You definitely have things of the past with an older male, work, job, father, the 12th house, giving you a wake-up call, wanting you to make that unconscious conscious with Pallas in Capricorn. It's possible that you are feeling that you are more restricted when it comes to spending. The South Node is in transit in your 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, hidden taxes. The South Node in Virgo in the 8th house is showing that you have been here before with other people's money. It's possible that your mom or your dad, there's a relationship there in the 10th house with Juno, challenging mom and home. And the weight of home that is showing up with Hades in that 6th house of health will bring more opportunities for greater health as you push forward to that North Node in the 2nd house, where you truly value spirituality, homeopathic remedies, things of that nature. The tarot card that I pulled for you, Aquarius and Aquarius risers, is the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is showing an abundance with your finances. You just have to be careful against loss of hardships. Money in your household, resources in your household could be lacking. This is not a good time for new financial commitments or agreements. Just be cautious. Avoid any opportunities that would make your situation worse instead of better, Aquarius and Aquarius risers. Again, collectively, I am seeing a lot that has taken place and that will take place with our Earth's resources, space agencies, immigration, healthcare. The theme right now for us collectively is the oceans, the health of the oceans, the health of the planet. And the main concern moving forward is tsunamis. For the conclusion of this reading, I am going to read the Sabian symbol, the degree of 21 Capricorn, a general accepting defeat gracefully. This symbol shows being able to see where and when to accept that things are not working and letting go of events or people or thoughts that no longer work for you. There's times when we realize there is no longer any point in fighting, and to win in some situations may be impossible. At the time of surrender, it is the valor, the battle, and the way you handled it that will be remembered. Sometimes it is how gracefully you handle defeat that will be the measure. You will go on to other endeavors and win. You don't always have to accept defeat. Sometimes you have to accept your own victories. Truth of inner worth, learning that every minor skirmish is not a defeat, giving up and being willing to start again. Nobility of character, letting go of the charge around anger. The caution is being a bad loser, feeling that everything is going to come out badly. Reliance on self-limitations, seeing the negative, betrayal and loss of support. Surrendering is also a caution. I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading of the full moon in Leo that has taken place on February 12th, 2025. If you would like a personal reading, be sure to visit my Stan store. You can also read reviews on there as well. And that is exactly where you will book from. Thank you again for joining me with this reading, and I will see you guys again very soon. Peace out.